Thank you very much, Professor Dehousse. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's very nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I think it's a beautiful idea to organize this and to connect with the Brussels community as well. I have been the guest several times in Florence, and I've always enjoyed it. And I think reaching out here to Brussels is indeed a very beautiful idea. And it's very timely, of course, to be here at the European House of the House of the European History, where if you have the possibility to come back, because I think it's actually closed, the museum, to be surrounded by facts and artifacts presenting our common heritage. And is there a better place to discuss Europe's future? Probably not. And especially today, to know where you're going, you need to know where you come from. And today, when we hear a lot of alternative facts, fake news, the rise of populism in several countries, we need that more than ever. Europe is a fantastic achievement. It's not perfect. They can always change, can always improve. And right now, leaders are competing in trying to outline their vision on how to improve it. And that is a very good thing. Because that is something that is enshrined in the treaty 60 years ago, that we act better when we act together. And that is true in so many areas: economic cooperation, climate cooperation, environmental cooperation, security cooperation, and trade, of course, which happen to be my responsibility. Trade within the single market, trade with the rest of the world. We can, if we stay united, we can negotiate from a very strong position with the world's biggest economies as equals. We can unite to defend ourselves against unfair practices, and we can bring down barriers with our partners without introducing them among ourselves. It was true now, and it is true then. And of course, when we talk about the future, trade is one part of this. But Europe is very much, and I think this House is also highlighting that, Europe is very much about values. Internal values, and also the values that we try to promote in our relations with the rest of the world. And we use our global influence to promote those values. We defend international multilateral institutions. We promote openness and cooperation between the nations of the world on the basis of international law. We help the poorest part of the world to develop. We try to promote democracy, human rights, respect for the environment. We try to shape globalization by sitting around the table when the rules are made. Otherwise, someone else will make them. And trade can also help to achieve these objectives and to promote those values. Of course, Europe, and this is a debate that is very intense for the moment, and I don't know if we have time to come into it, we need to deliver economically and socially for our people. We are recovering economically, all the figures are in the right direction, that's a good thing, but there's still a long way to go before many people who have suffered so much in the crisis can feel that in their daily life. 31 million jobs today depend on exports only outside the European Union, and many, many millions on imports, of course. And through trade, we can stand with our partners and strengthen our economy. We need to ensure, of course, that trade is good for everybody, to ensure that it is compatible. You mentioned TTIP, and this was one of the worries, that it's compatible with our values, with our standards, with our expectations, that we have a fair, level playing field. And we need to pay attention to those who are left behind and who do not see the immediate benefits of trade agreements. We try to do trade in an open, efficient, transparent, value-based way. And this has never been more relevant than today, I think. We have an ambitious trade agenda. Last week, we had our agreement with Canada entering into force. A European partner in many ways, share so many of our values and our systems. It's a progressive trade agreement, and we want to work with our Canadian friends to set that as a standard for future agreements. We have, in principle, an agreement with Japan. We need to flesh out some of the details during the fall, and we are making good progress with Mexico and Mercosur, which is, of course, giving us unprecedented access to those markets, and is also strengthening our ties with important allies. So we're standing with our partners against the risk of protectionism. We're opening new talks with Australia, with New Zealand, also strategic partners who share our values. We are doing this in an open way. We are publishing the mandate. I think this has been well received in the European Parliament and many national parliaments as well. We are trying to listen to the concerns. We engage also on the multilateral level, trying to see if we can move the WTO forward to defend the global rules on trade. We do face many challenges. It's not easy right now, but Europe is still in a much better shape, and I hope my fellow panelists will agree on that. We are in a much better place than we were a year ago. We see the economy recovering. We see support for the European Union increasing, even though we have also growing forces who question the importance of working together. I think people start to realize the importance of working together, that the European Union is actually something really that we should cherish. And it will be difficult. We are coming out of the general depression of Brexit. We realize that it's still sad, but we will survive without the Brits. And we have lots of energies of how to do so. So I think the European Union is well positioned to take the challenges, not shy away from them. We're in a better shape, we're in a better self-confidence. We will build bridges, not walls. And the European Union can do that. And how we're going to do this, we have a wonderful panel here to tell us about it. You have just heard Professor Dehousse, the president of the European University Institute. I will not read up your whole CV because you can read it and we don't have time. We have also Professor Hanspeter Kriesi from Switzerland, but who has the Steinrocken chair at the same at the European University Institute as well. I have a very special faiblesse for Steinrocken, so we can talk about that afterwards. And of course, Brigid Laffan, who has a long career as a professor in European politics from Ireland, but who is now at the Robert Schuman Center for Advanced Studies, also in Florence. So with these three very qualified professors and Europeans, I think we can count on a good discussion here tonight. I don't know who wants to start. Maybe Hanspeter, who wants to start? Okay, please, the floor is yours. And then we...